Hello everybody and welcome back. We are here for the third and final week challenge here. This is for the Non-Stop Papercraft August Travellers Notebook Challenge. This is what I'm doing in my Facebook group. So because I released two kits this month, one was the Pretty Grungy, the other was the Shabby Elegance kit, I have been creating challenges and giving away freebies that kind of match with either of those kits. And this week we are making paperclip charms. So I've done a few as examples just to kind of show you. So this is the layered tag that I made last week. So you could use these dangles to go on tags. They can also be clipped onto the sides of pages in your journal, or like I've done here, again just showing you because it's on the end of one of my tags from last time. This was another example, so this is the one using the Shabby Elegance style paper, and then I've added some lace at the bottom. So you can make these all kinds of sizes. First of all, I just want to show you the freebies. So these freebies you can grab either in my Facebook group, Non-Stop Papercrafts, or on my Ko-fi page. So I will have it all linked down below. I have a link tree, and if you go in there you'll have links to either my Ko-fi, my Etsy, or my Facebook group. So everything's down in the link tree. So there are two pages this week. One, as I say, that kind of fits with the Shabby Elegance kit, one that fits with the Pretty Grungy kit. You don't have to use these freebies just for these challenges. If you want to create something else, that's absolutely fine. Anything that you create this month using either the freebies or the kits, if you post in the Facebook group and use this hashtag, then you'll be put in the drawing at the end of the month. So the two pages are collage style pages. So this is the first one. And as I said, this kind of suits the Shabby Elegance. So I've used different elements from the Shabby Elegance kit as well as some other bits and pieces as well, just to kind of make it, like I said, look a bit more like a collage page. But we're going to be tearing strips from this, which is why I've done a lot of it in strips. And then to kind of match that, I've got the same kind of style page, but this time this suits more the Pretty Grungy kit. So obviously the colours are more darker, more grungier. But still able to be torn in strips. So they're the pages that you can get. Let's show you how to make these paperclip dangles. Now these are super easy to make. I think it was back when I first started my YouTube channel. I did actually have a video that's still up actually, you can still go and check it out, where I showed how to make these dangles. But obviously because it was when I first started recording, you weren't very zoomed in, so it was a bit difficult to see some things. So I thought I would revisit that. It is a fun little project. You can mass make these. But yeah, they're just a nice, easy way to decorate your journals or your tags. So I'm just going to push those to one side for a moment. And all you need for this really are some paper clips and any type of paper. Obviously I'm going to be using the freebies, but you can use anything. I think in my previous video when I showed you how to do this, I was just using book page and music page and things like that. So it could be any paper that you have. So I have obviously already been tearing up these pages to create what I've made so far. So I'm just going to continue tearing up what I've got. Now, as I say, it is super easy. This will not take very long to learn, but obviously how you decorate them could also then be the adventurous part and how you can really be creative. So all you need to do is decide on the size of the paperclip that you're going to use. So I've got large ones, I've got smaller ones, I've got some in kind of rose gold colour. Obviously you choose whatever you have available to you. So I'm going to do another large one, and I think I might do another grungy one actually. So you can either, so like this one, you can see the paperclip at either end. That's because I've tied this onto this end, and obviously I've then got the clip up that side. So that's an option. Or like I have done on this one, you can see only a very slight amount of the top of the paperclip, and I've completely hidden the bottom and then put an eyelet in. Again, just for a different look and a way to change it up. So that's entirely up to you how you want to do it. I think I'm going to completely cover this one apart from obviously the top. So all I'm going to do is think about how far away from the top I want this. I'm then going to get my pencil. I'm going to do it a little bit further up where it's actually a bit paler so I can see my mark. And then I'm going to mark as close to this bottom edge as I can. So that's how wide I need my strip. So you can use a trimmer. I'm going to use a ruler. I'm just going to get rid of that other piece so I don't end up tearing that as well. And then using my ruler, it doesn't matter if it's not dead straight either. I'm just going to tear that strip. Okay, then looking at this, I'm going to kind of decide what I want to see. So obviously you're going to see some of the paper, but it's obviously the last sort of section of the paper. So I think I quite like where you can see this torn hold paper here. And it only needs to wrap round a few times, so you won't need obviously the whole strip. So I'm going to tear it here where it's plain. And again, save that for another paper clip. Then all I did was just make sure that again this does actually fit, and it does. And I'm going to ink, again this is optional because this is the grungy one, I do want a kind of heavier layer of ink on this one. But you're just going to ink around the edge if you choose to. I don't bother with this side because that's the bit you're not going to see. That's going to be right on the inside. I'm just doing it on this one here. Okay, so it's just along the three edges. I then get the paper clip and I just slide this under the longest edge like so. And then you pull it up a little bit and just create a fold. It doesn't matter how far down you come. I kind of come maybe about an inch, might be just under. And then I just kind of use my kind of fingernail to just give it a push and a press around that paper clip so you can see now the edge of that paper clip. Okay, then you're going to use some glue. You can absolutely use a glue stick. I'm just using this glue because that's what I have on hand. I'm going to put a little bit of glue along the paper clip as well, and I'm going to fold that over. However, when I fold it over, I'm just going to push it as far as I can to the bottom of the paper clip. Okay, that's the first part. That's probably the most fiddly bit. After that, all I'm going to do is pretty much just roll it around. Now, you don't want this obviously too tight, but you do want it taut. So I'm just slowly pulling it round. Again, you don't want it too tight because you don't want to tear the paper. So I'm just pulling it tight and pulling it round. And then on that last bit, just going to add some glue. Okay, and then just pull around that last bit. As I say, you can use a glue stick for this. I've just got the wet glue to hand. Okay, and essentially you're there. You can round these corners if you wish. I think I might do this time. I didn't last time, but I will for this one. So you just kind of follow along where the paper clip is. I'm going to do the same on the other side. And I'm just going to ink those edges. Okay, so that just gives it a little bit more of a rounded look down at the bottom. Again, optional. I'm going to put an eyelet in this one so that I can have something dangling off the top. I didn't do that, as I said, on this last one. but that is what I did on the small one. So I'm going to do that again here. So the first thing I need to do is punch a hole. Now you should be able to feel where the paper clip is. And obviously you're going to be punching within that gap at the bottom, like so. Then going to choose what I want inside. So I think I might go for rose gold actually. So I'm just going to put that in there and set that using my crocodile. Okay, so now we have an eyelet. Right, then it's the decorating. So I've got some of these sentiments still left from last week's freebies. So I think I'm going to use those on here. So I'm just going to ink this up a little bit. And then because I like this, I think I'm actually going to stick this on the back. So I've got the story of us on the back, and then on the front I've got some cheesecloth, which I've used a lot of in the grungy kit. So I'm just going to cut a strip of this. And as usual, just give it a bit of a tug and a pull just to fray it a bit more. I'm going to feed that in there. Okay, like so. Just going to open that up a little bit. Okay, so you've got that one like that. And then to obviously attach it, you can use bulb pins. I've got these jewellery making clasps, so you could potentially use those. I'm not going to fiddle around with those at the moment because I will be here forever trying to do that. So I am just going to grab the bulb pin. Yeah, and then that just goes at the top. And you have your dangle. Okay, as simple as that. You can of course add something else on here if you wished. Again, you can experiment with this in so many different ways. I think I'm going to make a smaller one, and I'm going to use, I think, either some lace, or I've got this eyelash trim that's quite nice. So let's make a smaller one. This time I'm going to use the Shabby Elegance part, I think. This section is actually quite nice, isn't it, with the flower? So let's do that bit. Okay, so roughly there. And as you can see, I am literally just guesstimating. It doesn't have to be exact. Okay, then I'm deciding which bit do I actually want. Is it quite like this? I like that end as well. Okay, I'll tell you what, we're going to tear it there. And I think I'll tear it down this bit. Actually, I'm going to tear it down this bit. I think this is the bit that I want on the front. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. So again, I'm just going to slot this on here. create a fold, give it a push down with my nail, and then glue. And then I'm just going to push it to the middle, so I do actually have a bit at the top and the bottom. I'll tell you what I didn't do, I didn't ink, did I? That'll do. Okay, so that's on there. And then I'm going to use a little bit of this. You need to leave a little bit of a tail end to tie it off. So let's try that again. Okay, and then once I've got my two ends, I'm just going to then tie it off. This bit is a little bit fiddly, and I'm sorry if you can't see very well on camera. I'm just going to tie a quick knot, which isn't easy with eyelash trim. Can't see if I've tied it or not. There we go. Pull that bit. That's it. And I'm just going to snip that bit. Then you've almost got like a fluffy one. Now you can add like a bead in here as well. I'm not doing that only because trying to put a bead on eyelash trim is a nightmare. But you've then got a fluffy one. So that's a different way of also making a little paperclip dangle. Let's see, what else can we do? So I've got this strip, let's make one more. I think we'll take it to the edge of that photo frame. So again, just going to give it a slight ink. Going to glue that down. And wrap it around. Okay, so there's that one. Let's just see if I've got any more of those sentiments. Okay, so I've got this one which says just add love. Obviously I'm not going to be able to fit all that on, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim off love and put that word on here. So I'm just going to trim it down slightly because obviously this is a smaller paperclip than the large one. I'm going to give it a slight ink. Okay, and that can go on the middle there. Like so. And then on this big one, because this is obviously to go with the Shabby Elegance, I've got some lace, so I might use the lace again. But what I'm going to do is, obviously this is quite a wide lace, so I'm just going to trim up it a little bit so it's not quite so wide. Okay, so there's my lace hanging off, and I actually quite like that the lace is quite long for it as well, because I think that just adds to it. And again, you could use a bowl pin. What you could also use is just another paper clip and just pop it on there, and then it will go straight onto your journal page. What I did do with this one is I did add a couple of extra rings just because it helps sort of with it dangle. Obviously this one's quite rigid, it won't lay flat, which is why sometimes you want those rings in there. But yeah, that is the challenge for this week, making these little paperclip dangles. As I said, lots of different ways that you can embellish them and play around with them, and different ways to decorate them. I've added a bead on this one, so that's an option as well. I've got a bead on this. Yeah, really fun little challenge, something that's quite nice and quick, hopefully, but just something extra that you can add to decorate your journals. So just a reminder that if you are going to find the freebies, they are in my Facebook group, Non-Stop Papercrafts, or on my Ko-fi page if you perhaps don't use Facebook. If you post in the Facebook group to show your makes, like I said, it doesn't have to be these challenges, it could be something else that you make with the freebies or with the paid kits. Make sure you use that hashtag, then you'll go in a prize drawing at the end of the month. If you just use the freebies in your makes, you get 1 entry for every post that you make. If you are using the paid kits, then you get 2 entries for every post that you make. So make sure that you make it clear in your post which you are using. But yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed this challenge. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next crafty video. Bye for now.